صلى الله على طه خير الخلق وأحلاها صلى الله على طه خير الخلق وأحلاها.
Lectures and workshops, and in these workshops there are a lot of people from different religions and that have a societal conversation about society at large and everything. And this question is usually put up to me that they understand the whole root of Islam being a peaceful religion, but when punishment comes to sins, for example, adultery is stoned, and violence is used for punishing people who commit sins. That's again a form of violence. So I do not know how to deal with that kind of a question. Like I totally agree to the punishment that in Sharia. I don't question that, but for an outsider, for a better understanding, how do I help?
So, like all Abrahamic faith systems, and there's always something that in the criminal justice system, punishments that somebody may view as cruel, locking you up for 25 years or 30 years for a little crime that someone does might be viewed as very cruel and inhumane. So this is a relative thing. What is viewed? Yes, surely there is a criminal justice system that Islam put in optimal conditions. And in optimal conditions, it means in conditions that are fulfilled, etc., 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 etc. And then when you look at the time of the Prophet ﷺ and how often that was practiced, you take an actual understanding of how things were. And it made it so much, and to these things, example that you brought, it made Islam stipulated so many conditions that made it almost impossible to apply it. That's one. But it's there as a deterrent. But that's not only Islam. I mean, if you want to argue that point, you've got to argue the Old Testament, you've got to argue the New Testament, you've got to argue other also punishment systems that are in jails everywhere in the world today, that could be considered inhumane. And so I think Islam put a system as a deterrent towards crime, and when it comes to actual sort of violence in the sense, or actual the criminal justice system, it's stipulated such high conditions that are almost impossible to be met, and Allah knows best.